Hello again. We're going to start on modules again, which you can also find straight from the home page. Let's look at week 2 and talk about the videos and virtual discussion that you'll need to do every single week. So let's click here to look just at the week 2 example. Once you have done your other recurring assignments, so done the chapter outlines and the primary source assignment, the next thing you'll need to do is watch a video that relates to the chapter that you just read, or the 2 chapters that you just read. For this week only, I'm asking you to also skim a quick article about the video because it'll put it in context for you a little bit, but you won't have to do that most weeks. It's very quick, you just can skim it. So then after that, you'll watch the video. You should click directly on the link in the assignment page, and it should take you, I just right clicked and then clicked open in a new tab so I didn't lose this page here. But then it should take you directly to the video, and then you'll just hit play and it'll play from there. You may have to log into Jackson Library if you haven't already done so in order to access this. If for some reason it doesn't come up immediately once you have logged in, once the website has prompted you, all you need to do is just search One Woman, One Vote on Jackson Library's search bar. You can just copy paste that, put it right in there, and then you can, if you see more than one thing with that title, pick the one that's a video. It should be pretty straightforward. And if you have a lot of trouble finding it, or if your computer won't play it, the folks at Jackson Library are really helpful. You can just jump on their website and do a chat feature, and they should be able to link you right to it if that happens to you. Especially for the first week, you're probably going to want to do this a couple of days in advance just to make sure it works. Sometimes folks have browsers that don't do well with the videos. It just kind of depends. It kind of varies from year to year, so you may have to try a different browser, that kind of thing. Anyway, once you've watched the video, this week you're going to stop at about 49 minutes. You can watch more if you want, but that's all that's required this week. So after that's over, you're going to participate in the virtual discussion during whatever time your group signed up for. So you will go under the group virtual meeting times and meet at the time that you guys chose. You will have chosen that time during week 1. And you're going to want to refer to 2 different pages for the instructions for this. So the first is that practice session that you did during the first week. Go back here and pretty much follow all of the same policies that you followed during week 1, especially regarding recording and saving and turning everything in. Make sure you've got more than one person recording in particular, and then saving that recording just in case so that you have a backup. And then you're also going to want to refer to the virtual meeting guidelines every week. This is really lengthy. There's a lot here, but the reason for that is because a lot of it is about the sort of rubric that you'll be graded on. So basically, you need to be logged in and ready to go at the agreed upon time. If you're not logged in and ready to go right when everybody else has, chosen that time, you will lose some points. So make sure you're right there and ready to go. Of course, you can't do this assignment if you're not logged in and ready to go. So there's of course, you earn a 0 if that's the case. And remember that you need to be using whichever virtual meeting platform you guys chose that works best for your whole group. So start recording your discussion, and then you'll submit it the way we talked about at the end. As I say here, save it in about 1,000,000 places, just in case. As soon as everybody is there and ready to go ahead and introduce yourself. Just your name is fine, just as a quick reminder for everybody in the group. You maybe want to jot down everybody's names as a reminder if you have to. Now, there's no minimum number of times that you have to contribute. If it starts to become a problem that people are kind of hogging the conversation and other folks aren't getting a chance to talk, then talk to me about that, and we'll talk about setting up a minimum number of times of participating. Remember that the grade is about the quantity of your contribution, not the number of times that you contribute, and we'll look at the rubric at the bottom of the page here in a minute. So basically, for criteria here. If you do 1 or more of these things, you're probably going to earn a decent score. You need to connect the video back to the readings in some way, or connect it to videos from other weeks. You can also analyze the videos. You're very encouraged to analyze the videos on more than just a surface level. So instead of summarizing, you may tell me, for example, about an overarching theme that was carried through. And then, of course, you can connect that video to larger themes of the whole course. Now, down here, I want to point out, if you find that somebody's not participating, you may want to just be a good class citizen by saying something like, hey, what did you think about this part? Or, wait a minute, someone was trying to participate. Before we move on, let's let them have a chance to do that. And of course, you earn lots of good class citizenship points for facilitating group discussion that way. Remember that your job is to talk about the film. You should keep it grounded in the readings, but make sure that the conversation sticks with the film. I gave you some conversation starters below that if you're stuck, you can use one of these to help you. So here's a long list of those. You can say things like, the video reminded me of something in the textbook or in the other primary sources or in a video. Or you can say, something this video made me wonder is this. This one often gets a lot of traction. This video seems to overlook the perspective of such and such a group, and you can talk about why that might be or what that perspective might have added if the video had included that perspective. So any of these are fine. You can jump around. You don't need to do every single one of these every time. You can use as many as you want, or you can go in a completely different direction. If the conversation lags, pick up another one of these. So here's the rubric down at the bottom for how I will evaluate your virtual discussions. I won't go through every single point on this. I'll just talk to you about how to get an A, essentially, and then you can read the points below. If your contributions are very insightful and you have really original ideas, things that I hadn't thought about or that your other classmates hadn't thought about, or just things that aren't super obvious, that's great. If you're doing more than summarizing the readings, if you're building on them by putting the course materials in conversation with each other or talking about key questions, that's great. If you're grounding everything back in the video, in the other videos and readings with specific examples, that's very helpful. And also if you're being a good citizen in the discussion by not kind of hogging the whole thing or interrupting other people, that's great as well. If you have questions about this, remember to follow the 3 Before Me policy, shoot me an email, and I will be happy to help you out.